Hi again. Next up is Nancy Stevens, who speaks into mindfulness, especially being present while eating. She also speaks into the idea of using food in love. I really hope you enjoy Nancy as much as I enjoyed interviewing, and let's start the journey. Enjoy. Hi, Nancy. Welcome.
Hi there. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with
Thank
you
you.
today.
Yeah, so today I love the whole mindfulness movement, and especially around eating. So I'll just get right into it. Like, why should we be mindful while while consuming our food?
Well, the opposite of being mindful is I call it mindless autopilot eating that I think all of us have experienced eating and not knowing, not remembering what we've eaten, or not even being able to describe what it looked like or tastes like. We just kind of put in a big clump of food, chewed it, and I don't know what I ate. I had no experience with it. And when you do that, it just sets you up, I think, to be more disconnected from your body and its health and to overeat, to experience some negative health
Mhm.
impact. So, mindful eating just connects you to your body, what you're putting in your body, and just gives you the ability to just to have beautiful balance and control over that. So,
Does it aid in digestion and all of that as well as what I've a
yes.
little bit of what I know about it? Yeah.
Well,
Um,
definitely. Well, if you think about it, if think about the times I think all of us are guilty of this, or have done this. You're in a hurry, so you're going to grab something and eat it in the car on the way to where you're going, or you've got three other things going on, and you're just eating as you go through. And so when you're doing that, you're not giving your brain and your stomach and your digestion the time to work together, and I think your body just doesn't get the nutrients out of the food. And I think that's, ends up causing digestive issues and all kinds of things. So eating mindfully, hopefully you're slowing down and being more and chewing more thoroughly rather than just swallowing it and moving on
yes.
and whatnot.
Yeah. And going on to the next thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and how is there a specific ritual that you have around to get you into that state or to remind you, so that you don't get caught up in that fog of I just need to grab something and go.
Yes, I certainly wasn't always a mindful eater. My journey into learning how to eat mindfully began really when I started having a lot of stress and frustration in my life, and noticed physical issues coming up. So I started taking some mind body classes, one of which was yoga, which kind of was my baby step journey into learning what the heck mindfulness and being mindful was. Like, I'm too busy to be mindful. That's so funny. That was me. I don't have time for this. Um, and what I began to notice as I began to learn to slow down and to, take part in conversations, or what my children were doing, was I noticed I had a horrible pattern of treating myself last, eating on the run, like in the morning, grabbing a whatever breakfast bowl of cereal or a power bar and just taking a little bite, and then putting the bowl down and going off to do something. And gosh, where did I put that?
Mm-hmm.
And I just ate really disjointed, disconnected. So, it just caused me to overeat and really not take care of myself. And then when I started to notice that, I was like, ooh, doesn't feel and look good. I'm asking my kids to sit down and eat, and here I am scattered, eating in a
Yeah.
car, running around. So I broke it down to just one meal, because I knew, I'm like, wow, I'm going to take the breakfast time and just give myself permission to spend, 5 minutes, maybe 10, completely eating and then moving on, rather than scattered eating that often I didn't even complete it. So that it started kind of little by little, but it started with a pattern that I noticed, that I was really, like I said, disconnected and didn't even know what I ate. So
So
yeah.
many moms get into
Yeah.
that pattern. I'm a mom of four as well, so yeah, it's
we're often the last ones that get taken care of. And so once you said it started physically manifesting, was it your hair, skin, weight gain? What?
Um, I noticed I was either overeating and was feeling bloated,
Mhm. Mhm.
or um, for me, I began to get like sores around my mouth that would come, I think it was a stress of constantly being on the go. And then I wasn't eating very healthy. So my body began to, try to get my attention I had sores on my mouth, and which that's not cool, and it was, I think it was from eating really bad, you know. Um,
Mhm.
and again, noticing that I was often looking for my food, like especially in the morning, I would put it down and forget about it, or where, then leave out the door. So um, those two things began to kind of bring me on a quest. Like, how can I tell my family to take care of themselves when I'm like a really poor role model? I'm not doing anything for me. Like, how is that supposed to encourage or inspire them? Like, do what I say, but not as I do. So
Exactly.
yeah, so it was again, it didn't happen overnight. But I guess I knew deep down that if I was to inspire and support my family and others, I I needed to do that for myself, um, from
Yes.
a place of care and connection, you know.
Hmm. And so when this started manifesting, is that when you decided to go into yoga? You walked into the yoga class and then?
What happened first was the part of me learning how to eat mindfully began as a result of just dabbling in some yoga classes. And the instructors in the class, when I was a student, would say things like, how are you feeling in this moment? What do you need to move away from that's no longer here? Like, you only have this moment here. Why are you thinking what you're going to do when you leave class, or why are you thinking about what just happened? And so that really caught my attention because I'd never heard that before. I'm like, what? You mean I'm not supposed to be distracted and trying to, live in the, in the past and in the future? You mean I get to live right now? And that, I think that caused me to give myself permission to notice how I was feeling physically, how I was feeling emotionally. And when I left class, because I was taking care of myself in that little small time of class, I felt more in control and more balanced, which gave me the ability to focus on eating, perhaps, like if lunchtime was coming up or meal planning, because I had taken care of myself and was more present. Oh, well, let's not just grab whatever comes to mind. Why don't we use food as a means now to start nourishing our bodies? So it began to seep into, it's like one positive habit gives permission and rise for another and another. And mindfulness, for those that are new to the word today, it's simply it's giving your full attention to what is going on in the present moment. So rather than living in the moment, but thinking back to a conversation just took place, or what happened, or forecasting, what's my to-do list today, or what do I need to do? When you're thinking back or forward, you're not living in the moment. You're not present with your thoughts, feelings, or emotions, or either or others. So mindfulness is just simply you being aware of what is going on in the present moment, because the present moment is really all we have. And how much time do all of us waste by living in the past or the near future? It's very interesting. And that's how your journey with food. Give yourself permission not to enjoy just those special occasion meals, restaurant meals, or I call it signature meals, but how about just the everyday basics? What you eat in the morning, or a snack, or lunch, or dinner, put your awareness into that.
Are
And
you I think a lot of the listeners come from all aspects of spirituality, in whatever they want to call, um, in whatever capacity they want to call their spirituality. Are you speaking of prayer, like when you sit down, like what's something that you do or that you can suggest that brings our attention to our food as soon as we we sit down, or it's like, what's a little, is it a reminder on a phone? I mean, what do you suggest?
The first foundation or piece that will bring you into maybe having a little ritual with your food would be to be present and aware. So in other words, you're not bringing in everything that just happened, everything you're going to do, that conversation. You are lovingly placing that as it needs to be and coming alongside. Let's say I've got a pen here. Let's say this is your, you're giving your awareness to what's on your plate. So it's going to take a habit of mentally or physically just pausing. If you are still in that, that heavy, that action, you're going to move right back into just eat and go, and not even, oh yeah, I guess that was good. Oh, I didn't really know what that tastes like. Oh, so it takes you could call this spirituality, or even really a positive lifestyle habit based on love. That's a major foundation of mindfulness, is one of self-compassion and non-judgmentalness. So if you see your food as, I'm eating something bad, I need to eat this. Like if you look at it as an obligation or guilt, then that creates disconnection as well. So just put the food in a neutral place and pause for a moment. I constantly do this. The other day I was, again, had several things to do, and I caught myself, oh, I'm doing that old well-worn habit of eating around the house. So I walked to the kitchen, sat down, and finished eating. I recognized, because like I said, mindfulness, it's a journey. It's something that we're going to be in and out of every day. It's not like, oh, I'm now mindful, everything's beautiful. We're human. We have emotions, that things that to do. So once you learn it, you can go back to it, which is what I did. I realized that I was moving into my habit, paused, gave myself a pat on the back. Okay, yeah, I have a lot to do today. I'm really busy. I'm going to complete eating this because I love myself. Then move back out into, meetings or client sessions or whatnot. So it starts with a habit of being able to pause and say, I'm going to place my complete attention on what it is I'm eating right now, so that I can appreciate that it's going to give me energy and make me feel good and connect me, to my family or loved one, or connect me to me, because I matter. I'm important.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else felt it out there, but when you said pause, I felt that vibe. That was really nice. And I love what you said about love and our intent around loving ourselves, and that's the base of how we should be. I don't like that word.
I know.
Yeah, but being in a state of love, loving ourselves, loving our food, is such a nice segue into mindfulness. And I like that you gave yourself a pat on the back. Say, okay, it's time to come back in the moment and enjoy what I've already prepared for myself, and giving myself life and energy, because you definitely deserve it. So
Yeah, I think so often all of us, we feel like we're running the rat race or living on that hamster wheel of go, 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 that we compartmentalize ourselves so that we're compartmentalizing eating or emotional eating or task doing, that we don't fully come in to be in that experience. And that, like you said, eating clean or whole, it's really tied into mindfulness, because when a person decides they want to start eating more healthfully, looking to have foods that are, natural, clean, or whole, they have made a decision, practicing some mindfulness to move into that area. And I know for me, my journey into eating more healthfully and clean really started to move forward for me when I focused with the intention of wanting to have more energy and to feel better, and not use food as a reward or a punishment, to, to change my relationship with seeing food as, oh, that's bad food. Ooh, that's a guilty pleasure, or, always labeling food, or, yeah, oh, I need to eat salad or vegetables, or, it's like, oh my gosh, that's so exhausting.
Yes.
Yeah. So clean eating, definitely, once a person gets to the place of wanting to eat clean foods and whole foods, that, congratulations, because you are neither knowingly or unknowingly being present and more mindful with what you put into your body and how you want to have that make you feel in your relationship with food.
Yeah, it's to me, it's the basis of everything. And then once you're in that mindfulness and that clean eating, um, mindfulness as well, then everything else starts to come together. I think because if you feel good, then you're more accepting of what is next. So like, it to be coached emotionally, to to then reach your goals. Like that's the after. Like, you start with yourself, and so that you have the energy to do what you want to do, to make your dreams come true, to or just to get through your day sometimes. But can you, yeah. So do you want to talk as a kind of a jumping point off from food, and you're mindfully eating and you're starting to feel better? So how can you tell me a little bit more about your coaching practice and how you use mindfulness to help out all the busy ladies so that they can live mindfully beyond just their food?
Yeah, I've found in all of the work I've done with the clients, a huge component of being coached is in learning how to be present and mindful. Because as we shared, if you are constantly disconnected or distracted or jumping from task to chore to obligation, you are not aware of your wants and needs. So if you're not aware, as my clients, because they've maybe been so busy caring for everyone and everything, unaware of what it is they want and need or what lights them up inside, a foundation of a coaching practice is to have an intentional, I call it a one-sided, but it's a shared conversation with the client, just teasing out what matters to them. Like, what do you want to see from your time in coaching? Where are you right now? What are your challenges or your struggles? So getting them to, comfortably and lovingly open up and share these things, so that actually some of them receive really big aha moments, like, oh my gosh, I was not even aware that I was holding on to this belief or thought or this activity, and this time in coaching allowed me to bring it out. So we work foundationally on giving my clients the tools to be mindful, which opens them up to how they're responding or reacting, and how they can go forward creating some new habits which become behaviors, so they can independently do things without falling off, I quote, falling off the wagon and going right back to what they were doing before. So we use mindfulness as a means to give them a larger scope to make some really positive changes that become habits and behaviors, so that they are much more balanced, calm, happier, just comfortable in their bodies. So they've released the struggles maybe with food or weight, or I call it obligation, overload, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It is mindfulness, and working on your emotions is a core piece of work that I do to my clients. It's the biggest gift that all of us really have in our lives, and we learn to let go of the past and the future, and just to really enjoy the moment that we're in. That's a game changer for sure.
I agree. Yeah, I really appreciate the coaching that I've received these last 6 months, and it's I think rewriting the stories that we have in our heads about ourselves, about the world, and it really releases all that and allows you to just be mindful where you are. And I took a look at the free gift that you're offering this morning, the journal prompts, which
Hey.
were, and I needed, especially the first one, because I had a little reaction just yesterday, and I was, you know, I didn't want to face it, and your journal prompts really helped this morning. So I'll do the rest. So
I love that.
yeah,
The
yeah.
journal prompts, or my gift, is basically you can just look at them online and do it digitally or print it out. I like to write things out because when I write, I imprint that or release that. It's just all of those things are a way for people to get more in touch and in tune with who they are, because there is a lot going on in our world right now that's pretty emotional, pretty isolating maybe, and pretty distracting. And when we're busy with all that external stuff, as I learned, we gotta take care of ourselves, and not from a place of being like self-absorbed or overindulgent, but so that we can flourish. The world needs all of us to be more balanced and happier and calm, because there's so much going on. We just need that. And the eating clean is one way, because think, if you eat foods that are connected to earth, that don't have a lot of chemicals in them or preservatives, such as olive oil, which I love. I feel really connected when I enjoy olive oil every day. That just bubbled up to my mind. And when you're putting really good things in your body, it just makes you happier,
Yeah.
and in a mindful way. So, so the journal prompt thing is just kind of maybe brings you down a road, gets you thinking about, what do I want and need, and I want to lovingly give myself that, because if not me, then who? Everyone, really, if not you, then who?
I love that. Exactly.
Oh,
No one else can do what we're supposed to do, right?
yeah.
Oh, thank you, Nancy, for being here.
Pleasure.
Really appreciated our time together, and
Oh,
you can all the links to the free gifts and to your website, and also to soul.com. I know we didn't get a chance to talk much about that, but thank you again. Any parting words before we cut out?
Ladies, gentlemen, whoever's listening, use food in love, right? Treat yourself. Remove the guilt, or I should eat this, I shouldn't eat that, I need to eat this. Just release that. Enjoy what you eat. Eat to give yourself happiness, energy, and health, and the rest will follow. And just spend more time cultivating self-compassion and compassion. Big
That's
deal.
well said. Thank you, Nancy.
Well,
We'll see you next time.